it's already too late because the state police is walking in the door. That's legitimately what happened with my daughter.
Well, I guess some of the hope is that some of the things that we're flagging people for may not all be gun related. So if you've gone out and you purchased guns improperly, that may be one thing. But if you've beaten up your wife,
correct,
that should be able to flag you as well.
It does.
Well, I guess those are what we're hoping for when we're.
They already exist.
I think some of it is
no.
We're just talking in terms of strengthening. We don't think they're catching.
Strengthening it how? How else are you going to strengthen? It's already illegal. You're going to make it double illegal?
The way most of us do this is by offering more money to the people who sit behind keyboards. So the person who's inputting the information at the police station.
I understand something.
Hiring somebody else to input
you don't understand. If they don't do their job, then that's on them. Right. They will get fired.
But what?
It's already illegal.
You can't fire people who aren't there. The belief is
the people are there. This is what I'm saying.
Right.
Man.
I think that is the difference in.
They are already there. They're already there, bro. Anything else that you might be thinking is a lie. It's already an existing law. It happens every day across this beautiful country.
I think that's what we're trying to just get clarification on.
That is the difference is I think police departments are understaffed.
Well, after you just got finished having them demonized across the damn country, yeah, they are.
They were understaffed prior.
No, they weren't. In a lot of states,
that's one of the differences.
In a lot of states, they weren't. But once you had this administration demonize police departments, once you had these left-leaning extremists, I'm extremists. Once you had these left-leaning extremist politicians call out the defunding of police, understand what that means. Defunding the police means they do not have all of the resources to do their job within the confines of that state that they're in. This is why you got Chicago, certain places in Chicago that don't even have police officers after dark. That's it. You on your own. They have little police lights. You can go up. If you're out the street, you can hit the little button and police light will go on up the top of the little piece of the little lamp. And then you'll have somebody come on and they'll say, yes, how can I help you? What is your emergency? Now, by that time, you might have just got to push the button and then the guys that was chasing you catch up to you and they whooping your ass while this person is saying, hey, how may I help you? You understand what I'm saying? So I think that the vast majority of individuals, not politicians, people, just like yourself, don't understand the gun. See, that's the first thing that we as gun owners got to do. We have got to familiarize ourselves with the law in our state and any other state that we might frequent. That's the first thing we had to do. That burden is on us. And we take that burden very seriously. And we take it on the chin like a champ because we have to know what's, again, that's another part of being a responsible gun owner. You know what I'm saying? What a lot of people are talking about are criminals. Criminals, by definition, do not follow the law. So you adding another law on top of already existing law is not helping anybody. It's not saving lives. It's a bunch of bullshit. Any politician tells you if we just had this law, it'll say count. That's a fucking lie. It's a blatant lie.
Well, I think defund the police is a reaction the same way that you said a lot of gun owners have become the gun owners is because they have personally been affected by gun owners. Defundable police came about because these people have been directly affected by
and let it
go. Negative police interaction.
Don't follow it. Don't follow it. When you pull it back, let it go. It's just like it's just like a bow and arrow, right? There you go.
Okay. And then
you're not gonna hurt it, he said.
Yeah, you ain't gonna hurt it at all. It's trust me. It was well made, so you definitely not gonna hurt it. But go ahead, what was you saying, B?
Defund the police is to me is a direct reaction. Just like you said, most gun owners have become gun owners because they were directly impacted. Mm-hmm. Yes. I see defund the police.
So here's what I'll show you. You think defund the police is?
It's demilitarizing militarizing the police department.
So you saying,
We have a military.
are you saying that people that are in Los Angeles right now should not have a MRAP vehicle that can actually penetrate through walls?
I'm saying that
Not
Franklin
the
County
police-
doesn't need
Not the police department.
Not the police department. You don't think so?
If the police department has a special forces
So
that regularly
that's why they
trains
have
with
SWAT.
that MRAP, then the
So they have
SWAT. Yeah, SWAT.
That's
should.
why they're in SWAT.
Yeah.
They're in SWAT
But-
specifically for that purpose.
The police.
The police department, they
Police
they
department
don't
can have a
have
SWAT
that.
just trains on that.
Now
The
certain
department should.
certain police departments
Right.
do have
That's where the defund is.
certain police departments do have smaller vehicles that they can use that are armored. You know what I'm saying? But it is needed. You know what I'm saying? It is needed. In that area, it is needed. This is the thing. See, a lot of people speak from gilded cages, or they speak from areas where they live where they don't see it. So if they don't see it, it doesn't exist. A lot of people, if they only see it on the news, oh, that's only over there. It don't happen nowhere else. But I don't think every police department. You see what I'm saying? That's the trend that we wind up following, because people don't. Certain individuals don't see it. But see, what happens is, then when it spills over in they neck of the woods, oh, we gotta do something about it. Well, you just defunded the damn police. First you wanted to defund them, now you want to give them all the resources that they had. Which one is it? See, only when it directly affects you is when now we should have the police to have all kinds of shit. They should have armored flying ducks and shit, everything. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden you want them to have everything that they need, but you just took it away from them 4 years ago.
I think it always impacts us.
It does.
But
And it always
I don't-
impacts us on a negative level.
And I think one of the difference, I think, again, the liberal conservative difference here is having more money or protecting property over people seems to be. When you say,
I totally
you can
agree.
have any weapon you want if I've got the money.
I totally agree
Having
with that.
more money doesn't make you a more responsible
I
gun owner.
totally agree with that in the realm of children, because we have firearms with specially trained individuals protecting all kinds of financial institutions, and nobody gives a fuck about the optics on that. So why is it that we give a fuck about the optics on what makes up, would possibly put our kids in a safer environment? Why? They're doing exactly what everybody asked for. They're doing mental checks every, I think, 6 months or so. They do regular training with their firearm. So what I don't understand. Now all of a sudden, when we do have a bunch of people that want to do what individuals that are asking for on the left side of the aisle, then all of a sudden they still got to find a loophole to say, but.
No, well,
I think that is the point of defund police. Police are there to protect property.
no,
And the property of the wealthy.
No, police are only here to preserve the law. There is no law on the books that says that if you're getting your ass whipped on the corner and a police officer rides by, he has got to stop to put a stop to them whipping your ass.
Right.
So it's not even property. They're there to keep the peace and to preserve the law. That's it.
But the law is geared to protect property.
No, the law is geared to protect people, but it's certain people. If you
People
really
with
look
property.
at it, no.
I think that is
people
where the
with
left and
money.
right divide.
People with money.
Right.
This is a little different.
yeah, I want to.
All right.
The vector. The reason why it's called the vector is because the recoil mitigation system that works in this firearm, when the bolt goes back and you throw around in the chamber, when you fire it, it's going to come out. It's going to strip one off the top of the mag, and what's going to happen is, as it fires, the recoil system and the bolt system vector down and comes back up. It doesn't vector.
I'm
It doesn't
gonna
come
take
straight
a
back.
picture.
Where
My
does
son
this
has
discharge
a
break?
Nerf vector right here.
So, how can you fire it from both sides? Like without getting hit by the brass?
Yeah.
How does that work?
So, how can I explain this to y'all where y'all will understand?
That's a good question.
So
I know you've been doing that all night.
But I love doing it.
All right,
You know what I'm
good,
saying? Because that's how you make
That's how you
a
live.
responsible gun owner. You know what I'm saying? Or that's how you educate a person that doesn't know about the different laws that gun owners have to follow. You know what I'm saying? So you won't know if you don't ask. And there's never, if you asking a question, there's never a dumb question because you don't know.
I don't.
See what I'm saying? So what happens is once you fire the firearm, I don't care what firearm it is, it's the same thing happens. The bolt may, instead of going straight back, which as far as I know, Chris Vector is the only one that has this system. What will happen is when the round fires, of course, we talked about the gases and everything. Well, when the vector system, let me do it this way everybody see it. When the bolt comes back, it comes down into here, okay? When it goes back up again, when the bolt goes down, and it goes to strip around, and the bolt goes down, this comes back. The bolt comes back, right? Strips around. Now the recoil mitigation system, the spring and everything is down in here right now. Now, it'll eject the round. Well, it'll eject the spent casing, right? And as it comes back forward, it strips the round off top of the magazine, forces it into the chamber, and that's what happens over and over again. So that's how your casings eject every time, right? And they want 30% arc, some want a 60% arc. Whenever you're shooting, they want the rounds to arc a certain height.
And can you
so
adjust that?
If you no.
Okay, that just depends on the weapon you
That
purchase.
just depends on the weapon you purchase.
Okay.
So if you're shooting this way, if you're shooting, and you want to switch, and you're shooting, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
You can do so.
But it'll always come out that side.
It'll always eject in either a 30% arc or a 65. You know what I'm saying? It'll always eject high enough to where it won't harm the end user.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, guns inherently are built safe.
Yeah.
But you
The
have,
person behind it.
if you listen to the legislation that individuals are pushing, it makes the firearm less safe for the end user. Like, it blows the mind when you really know what's going on with firearms. It blows your mind that, well, damn, why would y'all do that? It's all just to inhibit us from having guns. It's all to put us in that position. Now, again, same thing with this one. Now, remember,
And so this
there
is
you
easier
go.
because you can always see whether it's a school.
Now, this is the reason why this one has a pistol grip. It has a pistol grip because it's an SBR. I can put a pistol grip on it because it's an SBR. I'm here in the room with y'all dealing with it, so I'm not breaking any laws. Now, if I was to walk away and go to, or if I was to jump in the car and go to the store and left y'all in here,
We're gonna leave.
I'm fucked.
We,
You know,
I'm down.
you've seen how we handle these guns. We'd be in that car with you.
Yep.
Now, this is also a primary arms optic. This was the old school. I think this was a 2X, I believe. And if I'm not mistaken, look down there. What it look like?
Got a red target.
Mm-hmm. How bright is it?
It's pretty bright.
Okay, so I don't need to make any changes. This also is what you could call a prism optic.
Lift it up a little bit. Let me see if I can.
Will it focus in on it?
I don't think so.
Hold on. I'm gonna try some. Sometimes it works. Alright, now try it.
You see red target?
I can hear. Now I gotta find the target. No, I don't think it was there.
Didn't work.
No, it didn't work. It was worth a try.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But with this one, you have a diopter. Now that diopter is to manipulate the game more clarity.
Okay.
Onto the object of the weapon. I believe it's either a 2 or a 2.5. to, let me tell you how foul this is. In order to get that, I had to give my wife that.
It just sounds like marriage,
It's more
man.
like our gun, baby. You know.
No. I want you to understand something about me and my wife. Her guns are hers. My guns are mine. You know what I'm saying? The only way that I got to take that one back is because she don't use it. And I'm not gonna. If you're not gonna use it, why keep it in your area? I'll use it. I'll carry it. You know what I'm saying? But so this is a single point sling. Let me tell you how this works.
I got a carry.
So with a single point sling, all right, you can carry it and it will not do anything to you. If you have to, now normally, if I'm in my work gear, let's put it like that, my gun work gear, my shirt is tucked in, I'm carrying outside weight. So if necessary, if I had to, let's say I'm putting in work, I'm putting in work. Oh, and it ran dry. I can pull and still work. You know what I'm saying? After the target is gone, I can look down, see that I'm empty. All right. I can eject the magazine from where I'm standing. I can actually grab and place another magazine in it where I'm standing, and then I can actually bring my gun down from where I would have it up or at a low ready. I can bring my gun down like this, still reload, holster, and get back in behind the gun. You know what I'm saying? Everything can be done from your work platform. That's what they call it. That's what the gun workers call it. It's your work platform. That's when you have on your battle belt, all of your tools would be positioned how you would need them positioned.
Okay.
So if you're a lefty, you would wind up having all of your tools, all of your tool accessories on your left side.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You would train with using your less, I won't say less effective, less used tools would be on your right side. See what I'm saying? So like your tourniquet would be on your right. You know what I mean? All your magazines would be on your left, and then you'd have your, you would either have your chest rig or your actual plate carrier with your three individual magazines right here. You would either have it up here at your chest or down here at your stomach button. So that's how that works. We'll do another video if you like about chest rigs and
All right, yeah.
battle bags and all that, if you like. You're a lefty, so there you go.
Peter off.
No. Again, you got your safety, red and dead. Same deal.
Okay.
Same deal. It's always an indicator.
Double-sided?
No.
The safety?
Now the safety is, but not the charging.
Okay, yeah.
What did I tell you? Bring the firearm up to you.
Okay.
There you go.
Actually, this was more comfortable on the right side.
All right. Put it on the right side.
I just don't like
Chris Gibbons
straps.
hopping.
You ain't gotta take it off. Just slide that arm. And yeah, there you go.
Okay. Peter, wait to me. Okay.
Now that is what you would call a bullet drop compensated optic. Do you see the different hash marks going down from the dot in the middle?
Yep.
You see different hash marks going down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's your distances. So it would depend on how you would want to use that. Let's say you want to sight it in at 25 yards. You would have to then, according to those marks, set it up how you would want to set it up. So at 25, I'm shooting dead bullseye. Next, let's say it would be 50. What would I be shooting at 50? Where would it be close to? You know what I'm saying? You would have to find out, okay, well, it's not 50, it's more along the lines of 50, 55. You know what I'm saying? And then you could base that off of what you've used those hash marks for, memorize that by training with it, and then bam. At any given time, you could come out and you could use that all day. And they have a folder for that. I'm actually going to get a folder put on it.
With his finger up here, would that cause it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he get burnt like a mother. But it would only take one. It only take one time, and then trust me, he would remember. Don't touch that. But I'm gonna get my wife a 9mm suppressor.
It's hot on the top.
Absolutely. I'm gonna get her a 9mm suppressor and call it a day. You didn't even check the trigger pull out.
Oh.
So, pull the trigger.
Nothing,
Nothing, right?
Yep.
All right. Drop the safety. Now squeeze the trigger. All right. Hold it to the rear. Do not let it go until I tell you. Now slowly release. That's where I said slowly release. Pull the trigger. Don't let it go. Slowly. That's your reset.
Okay.
Now pull the trigger. See how quick that reset is?
Yeah.
All right. That's how rapidly you would be able to fire a firearm. And for those that sit there and say that a person can't, nobody can shoot a gun super fast. Like I'm gonna show y'all a guy named Jerry Mitchell. That cat is like if you had the option or the opportunity to train with that man, if I would still be able to take care of the day-to-day bills and stuff, I'd leave my wife for 6 months. And I would go stay with that man. I'm gonna show you. I'm not bullshitting. I'm gonna show you how this man get down, even with a revolver. And y'all gonna be like, wait, rewind that, because he's that fast. So when they start talking about, oh, you shouldn't be able to have a trigger crank. You shouldn't be able to have a binary trigger. Why not? I'm not out to hurt nobody. Why not? All of these laws that are getting put in place are for gun owners. They're not for criminals. So what the fuck you gonna do with the criminals is going on out here? So you're gonna restrict. You're restricting my rights more. But they can have free reign to do what the fuck they want to do. Nah, I think not. At some point, there's gonna come a point of resistance, the likes of which you will probably never see, or never think to see. And afterwards, you will probably never see it again. Because at some point, it's going to be a line drawn in the sand, and we're just going to be like, nope, come get them. And that's what's going to happen. You can't continue to infringe on people's rights just because of your feelings. At some point, it's got to stop.
But when it comes to the idea of defund the police, we defund the police. They're the ones that are going to take your guns. They're currently the ones that are taking all the guns.
Nope. That's where you're wrong.
Who confiscates more weapons than the sheriff's office?
That's where you're wrong. So here's the deal. When it comes down to a law-abiding citizen, they ain't doing that. They ain't doing that. I tell you right now, they ain't doing that. When it comes down to a criminal, all day.
Yeah. So
all day.
And the difference between a criminal and law-abiding citizen is sticking a piece on the back end of that gun.
And amongst other things.
And getting caught.
No, that's it.
Yeah, and getting caught.
And getting
caught.
caught.
Among other things.
But it doesn't have to be other things. As soon as he sticks that thing on, he's a criminal.
It's federal law.
And so then the policeman takes your gun.
It's a federal law. Trust me, he ain't taking just your gun. Your ass is going in the back of that car, and you're going to be facing 25 years.
But that's a bigger problem to me, I think.
You think that's a bigger problem than kids running around in the streets beating up old people and smashing, grabbing?
Yes.
I don't see how. We definitely do.
Hey, we got more guns to visit.
We got more guns to
We
visit.
definitely disagree on that.
I don't think it's happening as often.
Bro, it's happening every day. It's just not happening in your hood. It's happening every day. Every day. It's happening in Los Angeles. It's happening in Chicago. It's happening in Philadelphia. It's happening in New Jersey. It's happening in Maryland. It's happening every day, just not in your hood yet. If you keep ignoring the problem elsewhere, where do you think it's coming? It doesn't just stay in that area. It spreads, man, like a disease, just like a locust. And see, what I don't want to have happen is, I don't I want to stop this BS as much as I can, doing whatever I can, because I don't want y'all to have to bear witness to that type shit. That's why I say don't Philadelphia my Virginia. I've been there. That's why at any given moment I will buck, because you're not going to put us in the same kind of shit that they're in right now. You ain't gonna do it.
But doesn't bringing guns into the area, isn't that the same?
No, it's not. It's not. Because what have you learned since you've been here? You're going to learn the same thing from any responsible gun owner that's walking the face of the earth anywhere in the fucking country. You're going to learn the same. You're going to learn the same respect. First thing you're going to learn is the same rules, the same 4 fundamental rules of firearms. That's the first thing you're going to learn. The second thing you'll probably get that'll get talked about probably is the fitment of the firearm to the individual. And then you'll learn about everything else. The same thing that I'm teaching you is the same thing that any gun owner is going to teach. They're not going to teach it in any other way. The 4 fundamental rules of firearm safety is going to be taught with any individual gun owner, because that is our law. That's our personal law that we live by. So that we don't do harm to anybody that's not deserving of it. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now, again, this one's a little heavier, but it's heavier because all of the material is up front. So of course it's going to be front heavy, but that also helps with the mitigation of recoil. The heavier the weapon, just like the Cadillac.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The heavier the weapon. And you're going to see it once we start doing live fire. You're going to be like, damn, that's totally different. You know what I'm saying? Like that gun has no recoil. I tell you that right now, rip. That's the reason why I bought it. This has a little bit of recoil. But that son of a bitch right there, just like that, no recoil. You shoot that sucker all day. Like I was doing a shoot house with a buddy of mine. And you can go ahead. Go ahead. I'm just gonna do this right quick. I'm just gonna do this right quick. Okay. So that you can get the gist of the firearm without the you can look up. You can get the gist of the optic.
I like to see the little marks you were talking about.
Yeah. Now that's all. There's also a built-in rangefinder on that as well.
Huh. Oh, really?
Everything is in that optic. So if you look to the right, you should see like a hash marks. And it should like kind of look like a E with different.
Yep. It's a little wider.
That's the range. That's the rangefinder.
Okay.
So if you put a person's foot and head in there, it'll tell you the distance that they're at.
Oh. Huh.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it's 100, 200, 300, I think it's down to 400 yards or 400 meters. And then when you do this, you see, turns the whole experience into a different animal.
It does. And then this one he lights up at night too.
Mm-hmm.
Whew.
So again,
it sharpens everything.
If you're folding, and again, that one has a diopter. So you can make it sharper, you can make the image sharper just by turning it, or, you know what I'm saying, I don't know why a person would want it fuzzy, but you can sharpen that up, that look up, and it has a very forgiving eye box range. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's a beautiful optic, man. Yeah. And they discontinued it.
Oh.
Well, they discontinued it to make it so that's the 1X. Mm-hmm. The 2X, so you got the 1X, the 3X, I think it's the 1, the 3, and the 5. And they all look like that. So that it's smaller and it's more, it's reduced, it's a big reduction in weight.
Okay.
So you can, like, if you can run that at the 5X and then put on a 45-degree plate so you can mount a red dot optic, now you can deal with situations far, and then you can 45 it and deal with something up close and personal. So, my other build that I'm doing, that I will show y'all off camera, that's what that's going to do. Okay. So that's it's an 11.5 inch.
Now, does any of this need to be off camera?
No.
You can't get in trouble for
No.
All right,
Okay.
just to make sure.
I was going to ask that off camera too.
If that was the case, I wouldn't be doing this with y'all.
All right, good. All right.
That's why I brought everything out.
Because I got to admit, 3 black men over a lot of guns. This whole thing looks like
where y'all might feel that it's sketchy.
Yes,
I feel it. I'm at home. I feel at home.
Then we don't know.
Yeah, but again, that's again
I'm
why y'all
expecting
here.
somebody to bust through the window.
Yeah,
We caught him.
Again, all of these are legal firearms. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool. I don't have no anxiety, nothing. I'm good.
I ain't gonna lie.
I do.
Because
Why?
there's probably been 3 instances when somebody was like, "Hey, want to see my gun?" Every time.
First of
I
all,
hold it like this.
ain't no gun owner going to show you their firearm unless they do this.
I would not hold a gun.
Every gun owner will do the exact same thing. They will make sure the magazine is out. They will make sure that the round in the chamber is out. And they will make sure the slide is locked back. And when they hand it to you, they're going to hand it to you like this.
Okay.
Every firearms owner.
Responsible.
That's it.
Every instance, I will say I did not touch it with my fingers.
Well, yes, and because that's the whole.
If somebody said, "Hey man, you want to see my gun?" and just hand it to you, yeah, you better not put your fingerprints on that damn gun.
Here, hold this for a minute.
And just like everything, man. Everybody's got redhead stepchildren somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just like you got responsible gun owners, you got irresponsible gun owners.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean,
and that's
now I'm not talking about criminals. I'm talking about responsible versus irresponsible.
I think that's who we're trying to target with the legislation.
Well, you don't need that's the thing. You don't need legislation, you need education. And then you need enforcement around education.
But that still feels like legislation.
It's not.
Like getting a license.
It's
if
really
you're an
not.
irresponsible gun owner, you gotta go get a license.
Here's the deal. Again, you're not the only way that you can be an irresponsible gun owner is to learn the laws and then say, fuck them afterwards.
Or if you said, F them before.
You can't.
Why not?
Because nobody is going to, look, the one thing that gun stores have is a hell of a bat sense. They've got a bat and spidey sense from out of this world. And if they feel as though that you're not responsible, they can look at it in your mannerisms, the way you handle the gun and all like that. And they say, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't sell you a firearm. You're going to have to go somewhere else.
So you think education is the key?
It is the key. Because you have ignorant people.
I'm going to pose a question.
Go ahead. So we going
conservatives be willing to trade?
No, we're not willing to trade anything because we done traded enough.
Huh?
No. We done
Even if you
enough.
got something back?
No.
Yeah.
No.
What, you haven't heard the trade? Okay.
Go ahead. What's the trade?
We, pause legislation on weapons and focus more on education. If you all gave up abortions,
what? That feels like
and
way
focused on education.
What?
What the hell?
How those two go together?
Just different sides of the spectrum. Just different sides of the spectrum.
I feel like some gun owners are
where they feel like there should be legislation to prevent abortions.
So nobody.
And I would say we feel like it's more an educational issue.
Wait. No state representative wants a complete and utter ban, except for 2 that comes to mind. I want to say that one of them is Tennessee, and the other one is another one in the South. I can't remember which one it is. I literally, legitimately just saw that today. But it's all up. That's why Roe was overturned, because it's not an enumerated right in the Bill of Rights. that belongs to the states, and the states belong to the people. So it all depends on who gets voted in that deals with that. Now, if you want a person that just pays attention to abortions and fuck the rest of the law, then that's what you're going to get. Now, mind you, that's a slippery slope in what you're going to get versus what's going to happen. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to have a delicate balance of what those what the majority of all legislators are saying is there should be a cutoff point where you can have an abortion. What I'm saying is something totally different. What I'm saying is that I don't give a fuck what you want an abortion for as long as you can pay for it. What I'm saying is I don't want the people that keep paying for motherfuckers that just don't want to be responsible. Fuck it, I'll get another abortion. I don't care. I ain't got to pay for it. That's what I'm talking about. Now, we'll give you the first one. After that, if there's a second, a third, and a fourth, I hope you got some deep pockets to pay for it yourself. That's what I'm saying.
So, I feel like you got to separate those two.
I'm just posing a question.
I don't mind. To me, I don't care if that's what a person wants to do. That's what a person wants to do. It doesn't matter to me. No. What I do care about, though, is that fact that how many generations have passed and we still only at 13%. I don't know what I'm saying. I mean, it's up to every individual of what they want to do with their body. But the way I feel about it is we could go a different way with legislation on that. Let them have abortions up the yin-yang. But what I want to do is, if this is how you mitigate the BS around that. Okay, fine. Y'all can have an abortion. Here's the deal. If that's the case, then if y'all pass the Mann Act of 2025, where if a man wants you to give up the child, and you don't want to give up the child behind some selfish shit just because you think you're going to get half this man's money or a third of this man's money, then when this man signs over his rights, he signs over his fiduciary rights as well. Now that would keep a whole lot of legs closed, period. It would render the same situation that everybody wants, which is limiting abortions, because it would force women to be more selective in the choices of men that they choose to lay down with and have kids. Because if he signs over his parental rights, that's his fiduciary rights as well, and that shit is all on you. Now, I'm a firm believer that there's more than one way to skin a cat. And you ain't got to sit there and cut off the throat of abortions when you can mitigate it a different way. So yes, the answer to your question is sure, I'll compromise.
Well, wait a minute. How do you get a compromise?
Because
I was going to give you all the guns as long as you purchased the
Because here's the deal.
Militia.
Here's the deal. His shit doesn't have anything to do with the constitutionality of this shit.
I feel like you can own any gun, buy a tank, a nuclear weapon, as long as you do it through your militia.
That's the point. You're trying to preface everything towards the front and not paying attention to everything after that comma. So no, I'm not going to compromise that.
I don't know how you won this one.
I feel like it all falls down to education. You know,
it does.
We both think that education is the key.
Absolutely.
Education will prevent irresponsible gun owners.
Exactly.
Education will prevent irresponsible abortion.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's all I was.
I'm 100% on board. I'm 1,000% on board with that. Because I know that there's another way to skin this cat to where everybody will get what they want. And if you sign, if just like individuals don't want irresponsible people having children, okay, that's fine. That's not your choice, but that's fine. Here's the deal. What is a choice is when you have a man that knows that, I wasn't ready for no kids. You do have women out here that do put holes in condoms. I've caught several in my time alive on this planet that try to get pregnant on purpose by a dude. And they'll do ignorant shit like that. And they do it on purpose. So check it out. That'll stop all that shit. That'll start actually giving the knowledge to individuals. Well, hold up. Let me be selective. Let me be a little bit more selective in my choices.
Well, on the other hand, why wouldn't why wouldn't men be more selective?
Why wouldn't men
the
be
women
more
that they
selective
sleep with,
knowing this?
Knowing that
Are
they
you
would
seriously
be
asking that question?
financially responsible.
Are you seriously
It's been the reason for me that
so
I've become selective.
that goes all the way back to sowing your wild oats. Because and I'm gonna tell you something.
And that goes back
You know
to
what?
education.
You know what?
We need to teach
Again, let me tell you what happened to me. I had my eldest son when I was 15 and a half. And that happened because of bad information by a gym teacher that was supposed to be teaching sex ed that said you can't you shoot blanks until 17. And I was like, fuck yeah. And then, boop, that happened. I said, well, wait a minute. I'm still, man, if I could find this motherfucker today, I'm going to tell you right. I'm going to tell you right now. Wheelchair and all. I kicked that motherfucker over. I ain't bullshitting. And telling me he owe me for child support. But at any rate, a lot of it is
all
education.
ain't equal.
Yeah.
This is what we just learned
Absolutely.
from the gym teacher.
Absolutely.
All education ain't equal.
Just like y'all want shit worked out with firearms, with teachers carrying guns, I want shit worked out with who's giving the information to the kids.
Again.
That's it. That's what I want. Point blank period. Yes, we can compromise on that as long as they're vetted and they know what the fuck they talking about. Man. This.
There is a need to invest in education.
On many more sides of the coin than one might think. This right here is the round that is all the rage. Everybody hates this round. This is the AR-15 round. This is M855 ball ammo. Ball means it's not a hollow point. It's just a solid projectile, and it's training ammo. Now I can show you what a M855 training round, target round is. It's got a green tip on it at 62 grains. So that's the weight of the bullet. So with that being said, that's what you use to stop two-legged deer from breaking in your shit, tearing your house up. So this is the two-legged deer stop.
Is it necessary to talk about weapons as if you're not trying to kill people?
No, because every weapon was designed.
Yeah.
Every weapon predominantly that's of rifle variant or descent was created for a twofold purpose. To unalive animals to eat, and to unalive people that might want to steal the animals that they just killed to eat. So that's what all of these were. That's why when you hear these cats say these weapons of war, that's a fucking weapon of war. That's still carried today. That's a weapon of war. That's still carried today. The list goes on. That's a weapon of war. They still carry that. They carry this. All of these things. So you're saying, in saying that and making that statement, you're saying that every firearm, and they don't even realize that they're saying this. Some do, and they're just utilizing it to try to distort the picture for individuals that may be on the fence of getting a gun or not getting a gun. You understand what I'm saying? But then when they start throwing out assault rifles, well, that's not an assault rifle because it doesn't have a fun switch. When you kick it all the way, so you see how it's kicked to the rear? So it would normally be kicked all the way around to the forward aspect. So the same way that you have safe and fire, you'd be able to click it again where this lever is pointing straight towards the barrel, and that would be either full auto or would be 3-round burst.
And because the weapon looks very similar to the M16.
Yeah, and like I said, and the reason for that was because these weapons were designed for civilian use. It wasn't until Colt got on it where they wanted to make an iteration for the military. That's what you got. That's what went to the military. That's what went to the military, the Colt M16. That's what went to the tribes. But it was, the AR-15 was designed for civilian use. It wasn't designed for the military. At all.
But it looks like it was designed from a military weapon.
Yes. Just like all of them. That was in the military. That's still in the military to this day. This is in the military still to this day.
that goes back to the idea of
the M4. The M4 is still in existence.
Yeah.
Now they've changed from the M4 to the XM7.
Mm-hmm.
So but just like when SIG made the military version,
yes,
what was it? 3 months later, they came out with the civilian version. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't. And if you really want to, how long did the 45 APC? How long was that in service before it went to the Beretta?
mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So now you're saying if you want to, this is why gun owners want to smack somebody when they start doing this, because we know they're doing it just out of fear tactics to scare people. I showed y'all just now. If I guarantee you, if I would have been in a room filled with conservative delegates on the right and leftists on the left, and I put the round in the chamber and I dropped it, them motherfuckers would have tried to jump behind this damn sofa. Because they don't understand. See, all a lot of them understand is the finite amount of intel that they've got on the gun. They ain't looked up shit themselves. So how can you pass judgment on what the hell I buy when you don't even know what I'm buying? Sheila Jackson Lee, I picked up an AR-15. I wish I hadn't. It felt like 10 boxes that you might be moving. Really? It does? It does? Are you kidding me right now? It does? That's what it feel like? Huh, you tell me.
What am I looking at? Chamber? Clear.
That feel like 10 moving boxes? I didn't think so.
All right. The two-legged deer analogy. The weapons are here specifically to kill humans.
And food. Food first,
And
humans second.
But are you a hunter?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
And we'll go over that here in a second.
I heard a man talking, didn't know what he was saying, but he kept on spilling his words just the same. His mind seemed scrambled like a burned out candle with half the wick missing and a nothing for flame. Give me a savior that takes me away. Give me a blanket and a space for my head. When time descends like an old stage curtain on the back of my eyelids, I'll be in a place instead. You just kept rambling, talking 19 to the dozen, like a worn out needle, tripping right across that groove. You said there's a silence that's creeping in darkness, but why look for answers when there's nothing to prove? Give me a savior that takes me away. Give me a blanket and a space for my head. When time descends like an old stage curtain on the back of my eyelids, I'll be in a place instead. If time were elastic, would we dare ask it to hold on to something before it melts down like ice? And if we could listen, we'd hear back the laughter, 'cause no one ever wades through the same river twice. Give me a savior
descends like an old stage curtain on the back of my eyelids, I'll be in a place instead. When time descends like an old